Okay, so our final criminal elements video is on transferred malice. So what is transferred malice? Well, imagine the situation. You intend to kill your least favourite person. You think they're going to be the next person who walks through the door. So you're there with a shotgun and the door opens and you fire a shot. Turns out it wasn't your least favourite person, it was a completely innocent bystander, somebody you've never met before. Are you guilty? They die. Are you guilty of their murder? Well, the law says yes, you are, because your malice has transferred, your intention has transferred from one person to another. So you've killed someone. Of course, you should be responsible. So, in terms of how do you do this as an exam question, so if you had to explain the concept of transferred malice, what I would say is the defendant can be guilty if they intended to commit a similar crime against a different victim. So give an example. You go to punch victim 1, you miss, you end up punching victim 2. You would be guilty of GBH, ABH. Your intent has been transferred from victim 1 to victim 2. Now, transferred malice, and this is important, can work or can happen from person to person. So victim 1 to victim 2, property to property. So I throw a brick at, I want to hit number 10, but I actually hit number 8. That would be transferred malice. I would be guilty of criminal damage. However, it cannot be transferred from property to person or from person to property, and we will give an example in a minute. So, the case of Pemberton. Defendant threw a stone intending to hit people, but it broke a window. So that's going from people to property, and the court turned around and said you cannot have transferred malice from a person to property. And it also works the other way. You cannot have transferred malice from property to a person. Another case example for you is Latimer. So the defendant aimed to hit victim 1 with a belt, but it struck victim 2, a woman, in the face. This was transferred malice, so that's person to person. Then we've just got one more example that I would mention in an exam question, Nango. So Nango and Bandana Man were shooting at each other. So they're both intending serious injury or death to each other. But Bandana Man actually ended up hitting a passerby, killing her. Supreme Court said both were guilty of murder because they had at least intended to cause GBH to each other. Mens rea for murder is intent to kill or intent to cause GBH. And they said, well, you both played a part in this murder. Your malice has been transferred from each other onto this innocent victim. So that is what transferred malice is.